Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build live from Oak Hill Works. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you are well. So, I changed the stream last minute from the Craven that we had planned to It's a Surprise, and the reason I put It's a Surprise is because when I made the change I didn't know what we were doing, and I'm sure that's left some people confused. Those of you who are on my Discord server, link can be found by putting !Discord in the chat, will know the reason we made the change last minute, and that is because I really cleverly put this a bit too close to one of the wheels, which are plastic centered wheels. So now we either need to do some repair work, which won't be done on stream because it'll be a case of some epoxy in the hole and leave it to dry for 8 hours, or we need new wheels. Either way, that project will be back once I've got a wheel that is working on that loco again. So it's a surprise to you too. It was until I decided what I was doing. Good evening, Morris Modlin. Welcome to the stream and the channel. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. There is some interesting logos in the background, isn't there, James? Of course, we have my E2 extended tank version, which needs proper transfers at some point, and my K-Class as my background logos today. So I went through, I got all of my kits out after the mishap and thought, what can we do this evening? And I decided on, because I've been having lots of struggles with modelling, we do something really nice and easy. So we're going to do some white metal soldering for Linny. This is Linny's D1 that was left with me. For those of you that don't know, Linny is one of the moderators on the channel and will hopefully be along shortly. They left me their D1 last October to work on. Right, excellent. Glad to hear you are all right. I am not too bad, thank you. So yes, we are going to build a D1 because it's about time I got on with it, really, isn't it? Like, as I say, Linny left this with me to do last October, and I got I believe it was yesterday I was asked if I had done any white metal soldering on stream or on video, so I thought as well that could be a good opportunity to do a bit of that. Good evening, Javier. How are you this evening? So I've built one of these before for myself, although mine is the newer one with the etched chassis. This is the original wheels one with the white metal solid block of a chassis. Did the LBSC have a D-Class? Yes, this was a D-Class. This was a D-Tank and it went alongside the D-Tender. That was me that asked that. It was indeed you that asked that, Richard. So I thought now would be a good time to get on with this and show you something. Linny's even put some sprung buffers in here to improve it with. Part of the motorising and stuff, but we have lots of nice bits of white metal. This is actually a really nice kit to build. I've chucked a motor and gear in here. I can't remember what the discussion was on the motor and gear we were going to use, so once Lynn is along we will discuss that. But I do know I'm providing a motor and I've got several options I can do. Have you covered soldering brass on stream in video? Soldering brass is easy, Luke. Apply heat and solder. If it doesn't work, apply more heat. Also cleanliness. Be very clean with it. Brass soldering is the easiest soldering you're ever going to do, Luke. And I'm pretty sure we have soldered brass before. Lots of flux. There we go, it was just being slow, James. Indeed. Good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you this evening? And good evening, Tom. How are you this evening? I hope everyone is doing well. It is good to have so many people here. Now, because I'm having a wonderful day of modelling, I've already turned the soldering iron down. So we're not going to go melting this kit, because that wouldn't be very nice. We are, however, going to get the soldering block out to work on. Hi, I hope you're all in good health. Hope you're in health and having a good evening. I am indeed, Monkey. How are you? Like K1 in the background. Just a K. They never got a number classification, but it is a beautiful logo, isn't it? Good evening as well, Corbs. How are you? I hope you are well. Lots of you here nice and early. This is the sort of thing I like. So yes, as I say, there's lots and lots of nice big parts in these, and they do fit together very nice and easily. These are wonderful kits to work on. I mean, look at that, it already looks like a loco. Nothing stuck together yet, but you can see what it is already. You are fine, excellent. What's the soldering block made of? Asbestos, most likely. It is a jeweler's soldering block. I'm going to pin the instructions up before we start, because that seems like a good idea, if I'm being honest. Move nice, I guess it prevents you melting your workbench. It keeps the heat in what you're soldering, Luke. So this does not no heat will get into this at all. So all the heat stays in what you're soldering, meaning you get more heat and therefore easier soldering. Yeah, it looks very buildable. I need to make one of these one day when I unsuspend work on my double O gauge layout build. You definitely should unsuspend work on the double O gauge, but the N gauge goes under it or something, doesn't it? So you need to do that first. Use a spare floor tile for soldering. That'll do the job too, yes. This is it's a jeweler's soldering block. This, I got it off Amazon for about £3, and it is essentially a lump of asbestos. So, you know, really nice, healthy stuff that you definitely want all over you. I do believe it's... No, not that one. I've chucked the wrong one in there. Do you have any idea where you can buy a soldering block? As I got mine off Amazon. I just searched for jeweler's soldering block. Well remembered about my stacking layouts. Excellent. I'm glad I remembered properly. Very glad I remembered properly. Sometimes I do pay attention, you see, James. There is a reason I'm doing this. I'm looking for the smoke box door. There it is. Can't put the dome on because the hole's not there in the top. I can see where the hole's meant to be, so we'll just have to drill that out. I approve of tension. There we go. See, it's a locomotive already. Let's make twice fair to artisans and builders, merchants, approve pay attention. Have a look about getting one after this lockdown business. Yes. No point trying to buy much before the lockdown's over, is there? I suppose we're going to want the bottom of the boiler as well. Front and back of the cab. Back of the bunker. And the top of the bunker. And that is all the key parts we need to get started. No, it's not. We need the safety valves as well. Then that's all the key parts we need to get started. And there is the bot reminding everyone to smash that like button, or give it a gentle tap if you prefer. And whilst you're down there, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and press that notification bell so you get alerted whenever I go live or upload a video. Right, that's my YouTube shield business done. Let's get on with making a loco. The only problem with this kit is it's missing its cab roof, so I do need to make one of them at some point, which shouldn't be too much of an issue, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've made Stroudley cab roofs before. Could have missed it. Any idea what we'll be naming this one? We won't be. I am only doing the build. The painting and final bits and stuff will be done by Linny. Oh, I've forgotten the front of the tanks. I don't see... Oh, there they are. There's the front of the tanks. So, yes, final detailing like that is down to Linny, not me. So, once Linny gets here, you will have to ask them. That's strange. You can see the hole there and there for the dome and safety valves, if it focuses, but they're completely filled in. Never mind, as I say, we'll just have to drill them out before we start. I should have checked that beforehand really, and I would have drilled them out on the power drill. Never mind. First things first, we know that Linny has given me sprung buffers to fit to this, so we will remove these buffers. What was the E2 made from, out of curiosity? The E2 is the old Hornby E2 with a detailing kit which includes etched extended tanks from Shire scenes, I believe. Pretty sure it's Shire scenes. So the buffers on here are actually part of this moulding, they're not a separately fitted part. So we're going to start off by sawing those off, ready for the sprung buffers to be added. Do you want another E2? But mindful that won't be happening now. No, I've already got 2 E2s, Luke. I do not need any more. Good evening, Becca. This is indeed Linny's D1. And my thing not holding the blade properly. It does this sometimes. I just poke something down the blade to widen the fins apart. And make sure it's got a nice tight fit. I didn't know if it was a Hornby Spark Shot or the white metal kit. It is indeed the original, in the old Hornby. I don't like them enough to invest Spark Shot money in one. Oh, and there's a link to Discord from Javier. Thank you very much for the Discord promotion. I got it for £20 and it had a DCC chip with it as well. Could not argue at that price. White metal's getting rather warm. I don't want it to get too warm. Getting a bit flexible where it's getting warm. I like E2s, if only for their oddity. Extended tank's a bit much though. I've got a non-extended tank one as well. They are part of the complete set of Brighton locos. Right, one more to go. Oh, my blade does not want to cut this one, does it? It's almost there anyway. There we go. Now we just need to flatten the foot plate back out. Much better. What about the Sparkshot flat running board E2? They're not part of the... I want actual Brighton locos, not made up ones. 2 from him, E2X and E2.2, the latter I asked for specifically. We've got the regular Hornby one. John's Amazing Trains fit the 5-pole, 2 for me. Kind of want the rare Southern Green one though. Oh, that's very a nice collection of them then. I believe that this one still has almost, see, there we go, a nice original Triang X04 motor in it. On front wheel drive. It's got lots of extra pipe work around it that the original model didn't have. And it's a significant, it's very weighty as well. A significant improvement over the originals with the Shire Scenes detailing kit. You know, like the big files, okay for white metal. I'd Hornby E2 in my attic in olive green, B104. Yeah, that's the one that it wasn't out for long in that livery, I don't believe. Carries all about the Triang X04 motor. What is the difference between X03 and X04? Let's see how easily this comes apart again, because I'm sure this is only a clip in the chassis. No, it's screwed. Or not, it just doesn't want to come out. So it's to do with the lubrication pads. The X04 has lubrication pads, the X03 doesn't, basically. I switched out one of those motors on my E2 for a modern one. Ugh, why would you do that? The X04s are the best motors. Give them a service, stick a decent magnet in them, they'll run forever and be infinitely more controllable. There we go, just 2 shiny patches left now, which is all we want. That means we can drill those out to accept the buffer shanks on the new buffers. And again, the same on there, just 2 shiny patches left. When I got it, the motor was completely toast. No, service and a new magnet and it would have been fine. I have to send you all my Nellies to service. Sure, Becca, not a problem. I will service Nellies, not a problem. I know the 5-pole motor is still an XO4 in my E2. Fair, the only E2 that needs a sleek, fancy, modern motor is the Hornby Thomas. Oh, there's a link to my Twitter account as well. Yeah, you could get a 5-pole conversion kit for the XO4 and they become an even better motor if you can get one of them for them. Unfortunately, they're quite rare now. For understandable reasons, really. Where did I put the knife? But there's where I put the knife blade. Standard dose, its own motor is fine. It can be a bit whiny at times. Feel like Arnold Rimmer talking. Brilliant. And there's a Discord link as well from Mr. Mole and a website link. Do you like Nelly's humble little locomotive? Indeed they are. Then there's the merch store appearing. All the links coming from Alex. Thank you very much, Alex. All I can say, sir, is you are, if I give it some time, I might say this before it appears in chat. Hopefully that appeared in the right order after me saying it. Who knows? You know. I don't. So, white metal soldering, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start with a tank side because they fit in, they are automatically the right way. They square themselves so nicely on this kit. I say if I drop both of them in and drop the tank top in the top, that just fits. It has self-centered itself. So we are going to start with them and show how white metal soldering works. So the first thing we are going to do is clean up where we're soldering. Much like you would with anything else you're soldering, you want it to be clean. So I'm just using the glass fibre brush. And you can see there, even out of focus, the difference that has made to the cleanliness of the white metal. Once bought a modified Nelly from someone, got pistons and has funnel and cab shortened, but it looks lovely. Oh, sounds like they've converted it to the LSWR C14. It might be an S14, I can't remember. It's one of them. So again, whilst I'm at it, I'm going to clean up the other side. Quite a big patch there. So I'm just going to scrape that with the knife. There we go. To dig up some images to post on the Discord server at some point. Yes, please do. That would be excellent. Also, be careful, glass fibre brush. You don't want small bits of glass fibre in your fingers. Indeed, you do not. That is not a pleasant time. So I'm just going to do the same all over the bottom of this. And the tabs. And a bit on the inner lip. And that now can sit in there quite nicely. Now the soldering iron is turned down as low as I can get it, because white metal solder, which comes in big lumps like that, melts at 70 degrees. You do not need much heat. We're going to apply plenty of flux. You can't have too much flux. Let's move the solder out of the way for a second. Now, I can't remember whether I did it on stream, but as a good example of the temperatures white metal solder melts at, when I first built the tender for the Southeastern and Chatham D class, I actually built it wrong, and so it had to come apart again. And I did indeed take it. Well, I took it apart by putting the tender in a pot, boiling the kettle, and pouring water over it. Why does my white metal solder come in a block and not on a roll? Because it does. Ask people that make it. So, what does Luke have to say about PPE? I was kind of half reading as I was describing what I was doing. I wear gloves when I use glass fibre brush. PPE is important as always. Well, yes, PPE is very important, and wearing gloves when using one of them is perfectly legitimate. What flux do you use, and do you need a different flux for electric and white metal solder? I use Fry Power Flow Flux. This can be got off Amazon or from Squires. They are the two places I know of. Very reasonably priced, and I use it for everything. Says it's for lead-free solder. I also use it with leaded solder, and it works brilliantly. So it is always good. Still no PPE command. No, but I did get the other two commands done. So we're just going to pick up some solder off the end there. Pick up a bit more than that ideally. And that is now held. And the thing to remember about white metal is it is basically solder itself. So you do not want to get it hot. Or too hot. But so you can see there, because we've got all the flux on, the solder has flowed right through there quite nicely. There is still a slight gap in places. I don't know how well you're going to see, but come on, focus camera. You can sort of see just here and just here where the solder is flowing through the gap and holding it all nice and tight. And from the inside, you can barely even see where the join was. You can see it more at this end. But it really is that simple. How cheap, expensive are temperature controlled soldering irons? I don't know. I didn't buy my current soldering iron. It was bought for me by a wonderful viewer of the stream. Could you demonstrate what happens if you don't use flux? Not on someone else's model, no, Luke. The solder doesn't flow as well, that is it. But when I'm building models for other people, I will not demonstrate doing things wrong. I do actually have, sat under here, a very old, burnt out, knackered soldering iron, so that I can do a video on how not to solder white metal. Because of course, how not to solder white metal is also important. So at some point, with some scrap white metal, I shall do that video. And just say, this is what happens if you do it wrong, and it will completely ruin that soldering iron when I do that video. Which is why I have an old knackered worn out one to do it with. Remember to always cut away from you with the knife. Luke, temperature controlled iron can be had for £40 on ice, easily had on Amazon or eBay. Not using flux just means solder doesn't flow as readily as if you did. Look forward to that video. Good evening, Lady Alex. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm glad you look forward to that video, James. What were the other new commands, incidentally? I like new commands. There was gold, and there was something else that you suggested and suggested the response for it. I can't remember what it was, but I set it up as soon as the stream ended. I assume it was something to do with kittens again. Is this Linny's D1, by the way? It does indeed. It is indeed Linny's D1. Where does one get electrical flux? Been meaning to do some, but don't want to risk getting a dodgy one. Again, I use this stuff for electrics. Works absolutely brilliantly. Amazon or Squires. Works and it works wonderfully. Pretty sure it says somewhere not to use it with something, but I've had no problems with it. It's even got instructions on the lid about what to do if you're using it on central heating systems. It was recommended to me a couple of years ago at the Uckfield show by the resident soldering demonstrator who builds kits for a living. When I asked him what flux to get, I then leaned across the other side of the corridor and got it off Squires there and then. Year and a half later, I'm still on the same pot of it. So target was doing okay, feel fixed now, seeing the weekly of my video prior to uploading. Glad you got those fixed, Alex. That's something to do with kittens. Oh, the command list is out of date. The command list is indeed out of date. Probably don't use it with gold or something. Who knows? Let's have a look at the actual commands list. Brick, cake, commands, Discord, donate, donation, donations. That one's a dead command now. Flux Kittens, Gold, Hydration Kittens, was that the new one? Instagram, Javier, Kittens, Linny, merch. Those two are both dead. Patreon, Popcorn, Puppies, Twitter, Uckfield, and website. That is the full list of commands. But yes, I do need to update the website for the commands. There we go, that's that tacked there. Yeah, that's the new one. Excellent, glad. Excellent, James. Oh, cheers. Might get some when the quarantine period is over. My iron's at the club at the moment. I'm sure if it's open, highly unlikely to be. Indeed, I would expect it's not open. So my club, which is Uckfield Club, we are currently holding meetings via Skype. The virtual tea party yesterday, people bought some of the fluffiest cats ever. Excellent, James. Excellent. That is what we like to hear. Oh dear, did I knock that out of place there? Oh no, it's still fine. So there we go, that is 2 pieces fitted. It really is that easy. James, what is favourite cat? Is Chapping Mob Railway Club, of which I'm a member, who has 2 adorable fluffy orange cats. Very nice. So I'm not really into pure breed cats, especially more happy with Friendly Moggy, although a friend of mine is adorable, Burman is quite delight. Excellent. And my mum's got a ginger tabby cat, although it's rather old now. I was still at school when we got it. But since moving out, I've only had dogs. Still maintain that cat was mine, though. So I think I'm remembering that when this came to me, Linny had previously glued it. Or possibly not Linny, possibly the person Linny got it from. But I believe it had previously been glued, and that's what all this heavy residue is. So that we really don't want to be putting the soldering iron on. Your favourite breed? No, James, much like you. My first excellent taste. Very sensible as long as friendly, furry, puzzle. Well, I'm not a fan of cats. I haven't might have been shaved. So you say my mum has excellent taste, but I got that cat off of my friend. It was from a litter that my friend's cat had had. I was bunking off school one day round at his, and his mum said, "Do you want this cat? Because no one's bought this one yet, and we want to get rid of them." So that we're just back to the one, and so I phoned my mum and said, "Mum, we're having a cat." And described it to her, and she went, "Oh," and went and bought all the stuff that day as soon as she finished work. Isn't the Seth range now owned by Squires? To make that up, in that case you have excellent taste, both Luke and Gary. Excellent. You did not make that up, Luke. I've heard all sorts about whether it has actually changed to Squires or not. I have heard rumour that it fell through, but I've also heard that Squires have had the kits around on their exhibition stand, which to me says it's all gone through. So at the moment I couldn't tell you whether the Southeastern Finecast range is owned by Squires or not. Although this dates back to when it was owned by Wheels before Southeastern Finecast, which makes it pre-92, I believe. Sure, it was 92 that Dave bought the Wheels range. And of course, 92 makes it positively modern when compared to my K-Class in the background, which is from K's. That's a 1960s kit. So are the kits still available if it's fallen through? Yes, at no point did stuff stop being available other than being sold out. But if it's properly fallen through, then stuff will become available again, because the only reason Dave stopped production was because the sale was going through. I also never heard what the status was with his half of Newcast and whether that was going to Squires with it. I'd be very surprised if it didn't, because I know Dave was selling because he wanted to retire, but I never actually got any confirmation on that. And of course, it being owned separately by him rather than by Southeastern Finecast. Okay, last time I checked, Company's House still had Southeastern Finecast owned by him, not by Squires. Yes, good old Dave. If only K's kits were still being made. Well, some of them are from Southeastern Finecast. The K is not one of them. And when I spoke to him about it, he didn't think it was very likely it would be. Right, you'll know. Did you know Matrix Transfer and GDR Coach TS now they've finished the MR ones? I do now. Good evening, Linny. Does this look familiar at all? I hope it looks familiar. How are you this evening? I hope your course thing you're doing was good. I was more hoping about the coaches and the Y7. I think the Y7's been re-released. I'm sure the Y7 is on the new cast price list I have. Doing okay. Actually, completely forgot about the course chat and fell asleep instead. Just woke up. Fair enough. The new cast have an online presence, as per the title. This is a surprise. I'm glad it's a surprise, Linny. You see, what happened is I melted the wheels, well, one of the wheels on the Craven tank with a soldering iron. So I thought, what else can I do with the soldering iron that's really risky today? Newcast do not have a proper online presence. Head over to RM Web and search for Newcast Partners. There is a thread on the last couple of pages is the latest, as far as I'm aware, latest price list. It is also in the Discord somewhere, but it'll probably be easier to find. But I think it's pinned in the Discord somewhere, possibly in the marketplace. That would seem the ideal place for me to do it. Thanks for doing this stream, Gary. It's rather helpful. I am glad, Richard. I say I did when I was looking for something else. I did think, Richard asked about white metal soldering. This will be a good thing to do. Hopefully a pleasant surprise. What else can I melt with soldering iron? Someone else's kit. Exactly. No, see, the thing is, I don't struggle with white metal soldering. I've never seen it as hard like everyone says it is. And I mean, you know how much easier than everyone thinks it is, Linny. Do they have an online gift instead of an online presence? No, Luke, they don't. Indeed, you taught me. Indeed, I did. And hopefully, I taught you enough that you can see I'm not going to ruin your kit doing it. I've not made the new roof for it yet, though. I've still got to do that. Oh, I've just thought, does this kit have a back head? It does not have any cab interior parts. Okay. Fair enough. So yes, hopefully everyone can see. A, this is not as hard as people think it is. B, it's a nice easy kit to build. As long as you know which one I want it to be. I know which parts we're using, or which parts I'm using, because I remember us having that discussion and making notes on what parts it was that needed using. But other than that, no. I don't know what one you want, but since I'm only building it. In fact, I was asked earlier what identity it's getting, and my response was, Linny will be along at some point. Ask them, because I can't remember. And I am right in thinking that this was glued together before, aren't I? And that all this stuff I'm picking off is the glue. (231) Horsham, I think. Fair enough. But I use etch primer for metal, correct. Not for white metal you don't, but yes, for brass use etch primer. No, for materials that can be etched, use etch primer. It gives a better hold because it etches into the metal. Maybe it became one of those things that's just become gospel. It's like Bowness and Kinnell, they said 14/19 could only pull 2 coaches. Pull more than 2, about 5. Maybe. That could well be it. Apologies for the glue everywhere. It was indeed, yes. The glue's not too much of a problem. It's like once I've taken the glass fibre brush over it, you can see I get dark patches where the glue is, so it's nice and easy to find and remove. Make sure they both fit okay. And they do, so we'll just give them a clean. And you'll also notice that so far, because these kits are so great, I've not had to chop around any of the parts to make them fit. They all just fit on their own. Yet to find out when it went from IEG to Umber though. I'd like to have it that I'd like to have it. I'd like it to have a name. Well, it'll have to be IEG for a name. How do you manage not to go through fiberglass brushes so quickly? Both of mine ran only a few uses. Although to be fair, they were quite old. This one is about 6 years old now, Alex. I have no idea how it has lasted this long. I see details for the prototype appearing on the Discord there. So if you want to know about these locos, apparently my Discord is now the place to go. I mean, it was only a link, but still. That's not the point, is it? Is if I tack this on the outside before flipping it up, that's going to mean it won't fall off, and it's actually still going to be enough that once painted, you won't ever notice it. Because you see, the great thing about white metal and white metal solder is you can actually use the white metal solder as a filler for the white metal. So if I just do that and then we clean it off to get rid of the flux, you can see all you get is a very nice edge that makes it look like one piece, even if it won't focus properly. There we go. Very nice edge, makes it suddenly look like one piece. 1906 livery change, perfect. Becca, well done Becca. Got a link to a very brief history of all the D1 giving number changes, date of rebuild withdrawals. Excellent. That is a very handy thing, Becca. Very much appreciated. That'll be the link I saw pop up on the Discord then. I'm going to polish that whole side off and you can really see the effect of where the glue is on there from me doing that. And you could not see that at all beforehand. Can do that on the tanks and running plate too. I am indeed. I will do that on everything. I usually go round and do all that afterwards at the end. I just thought because I was tacking that on the outside, it was the ideal time to show it as a technique. A good example of that actually is the tender for the K, which did not line up. You can see at the top I've missed a bit where there's still a hole there. So there, but that was a gap all the way down, which I filled with solder and then filed round to get the correct profile of the tender. And I did the same on this side. Again, you can see the slight bit of a gap there where I never quite got it all. I think I showed doing that in the video where I built the tender for the K actually as well. So what I need now is Ian to get his Stroudley lining transfers done. Indeed you do. From what I understand, they might be a lot closer than we expect, and they might be available. Might have better availability than originally planned. There we go. The thing is though, Lenny, when it comes to the D1 at least, there is an all. I melted the bit that I tacked it with. There is an alternate to Ian's transfers for the D1. And there we go, there's Ian popping up in Discord. I believe it was anyway. Was it? Who knows? Unless it was you mentioning it to Ian. But yeah, there is an alternate to Ian's transfers in for a D1, because of course I did a sheet for the D1. That was you. Okay, that was you poking Ian. Fair enough. But yeah, when it comes to the D1, there is that running plate straight? Almost. It's a very wobbly running plate. It likes to bend out of shape as we're working on it. Ideally, when working with a white metal running plate, what you want is a block the exact size of the raised area of the running plate. This is almost right, but we've got two tabs at the back where the chassis slots into it that push the back up, so it allows the middle to bend down a bit. but it's not bent where the parts are fitted to it, only where they're not. And it should, in theory, once that is attached and that is attached, hold itself straight. That should be enough to do it. Oh, and there's a link to the Patreon from the chat bot. Now, as we discovered earlier, we need to drill some holes in this. Chimney fits nicely, but there is no hole for the dome, which goes here. There is no hole for the safety valves, which go about here. I can't see that hole from this side, only from underneath, because that is there. The one for the dome is there. That one's free, but that one's full. Remember to take your time with these things. There we go, that's 2 pilot holes to keep this straight. So I can now move that onto the wooden bit of the workbench at the front. And use the pilot holes to make my way through. This is slipping a bit, it's rather irritating. Let's see if that holds better now. I would say it does. That one I can just open out with the rounded file. That's a square one, not a round one. Right, I dug out early tonight. Run Sleepy Bunny, hope it goes well. Night night. Okay, thank you for coming, Corbs. Good night, sleep well, and all that jazz. Now where's me bigger drill bits that I want? They're over here somewhere. There they are. Are you the size I want? I believe you are. Yes, and you should also be the same size. Yes, it's almost like I leave these lying around just for this purpose, isn't it? But they won't go in the Archimedes drill. Of course, even in the Archimedes drill, I wouldn't want to be going much faster than I am by hand. So it's that time of the night where I'm going to ask, how is everyone? Do we have any projects of our own on the go this evening? Please do tell me about them. You know I love to hear about them. I've reached that awkward point where it's sort of through and it just wants to grip. Like that. But again, that should just need the rounded file to clean up. Oh, that's not very round, is it? That's not very round at all. Lay an engaged track, no project, still waiting for wheels. Finish off the side rods on my RWS Percy. 3D printing some 4mm colour light signal heads for a club member, and tomorrow final version of my LSWR cattle van, hopefully. Awesome. They all sound like great projects, especially yours, Becca. Waiting for wheels is the best project. What is it you're waiting for wheels for? Is it one of Tom's creations? That's a bit more round now. Got a video started editing, might start getting custom Dalek going tomorrow. Like to crack on with getting my couplers converted to KDs, but alas, not got the money. Well, again, that all sounds great, except the lack of money. Lack of money is never good. Tom's rail car, excellent. That will be a great project, and I will look forward to seeing it, Becca. So, Morris Modelling, what's this video you're editing? Do tell. Feel free to do a little bit of promotion, I do not mind. Oh no, it is coming out. For a second there, I thought that wasn't coming out the bottom of the dome straight, but it's just where the mould lines are on here. Let's move the camera back over to the main part of the workbench and work there again for a moment. I do actually remember having this problem on my one of these, now that it's come up again. Mods, can someone approve Alex's message, please? Because her sleepy French is dreadful and held for review by YouTube. We'll be trying to keep it out for about a week or so. My shunter running videos can have some traction. I only uploaded it last night. Fair enough. So it's good making sure you've got gap between videos, isn't it? It's rather hard keeping up this 2 videos and a live stream every week. I'm starting to run out of things. Translation, what is money? Yeah, I knew what the translation was from context. And thank you for approving it. We almost have a dome that's round. I've just had a thought. No, this is the right dome, isn't it? It's the E1 that had... Yeah. Yeah, because the D1 had these safety valves. No, don't know what that means. I know some of the words there, but this is the problem with foreign languages in the channel. I don't speak any. It's not through a lack of trying. Trying to do 2 weekly thing after the stage turns reviews had to be a lazy editor, but then again I wanted to make use of the glorious weather recently. Fair enough. I went to upload. I went to 2 videos and a live stream every week. It's that dome we want then. Yeah, I went to 2 videos and a live stream every week when I hit 100 subscribers. And I've managed to keep it up since then. But there are some weeks where I think, oh my god, what am I going to upload? That one's not got a round blooming peg on it either. All I can say in German is I watch TV and I play football, but I don't play football. Hey ho, week to a week and a half. Little quick things can do no harm, eh? Exactly. So it was only last night I came up with what this Tuesday's video is going to be. So I will actually be filming that after I finish streaming tonight, along with Thursday's video, which always gets filmed after the live stream. So I shall finish this at midnight tonight, and then film 2 videos. And then they can all get edited tomorrow. Right, that's round now, I think. Yep, see, now that it's round, it fits. Sort of. Oh, look, the chat box says, remember kids, hydration is important. And the chatbot is correct. Hydration is important. There we go. I think I've got that now. I should at least put it in the right way when I'm test fitting it, shouldn't I? Not quite sitting down at the front. There's definitely a bump there. Of all the places for there to be problems on the blooming moulding, eh? Alex using his favourite command. That's better, that's sitting in there now. So we can get the boiler fittings attached. There's a whistle somewhere to sit here. Let's find the whistle. There is not a whistle in here. I have some etched ones about. I'll give it not some etched ones, some lost wax ones. So I shall give it a lost wax whistle at some point. I won't do it right this second because they're not at the workbench. I know, I'm not prepared for something. It's amazing, isn't it? Get an upgrade. You do indeed get an upgrade. I have tons of them lying around, Linny, so why not, eh? So my video upload processing, I keep catching glimpses of stills of it. Don't realise I make so many faces when reading from a script. Why do you think I stay behind the camera, Alex? Why not an A? Because this is a D tank. Yeah, fair enough. No, I don't have any. I don't have any in there, so I'll have to get one out the stash. Oh no, not the puns. Oh well. What do we expect, eh? No, it's a D-tank. Now this is the part on these that is really, really awkward. Because when working with white metal, small bits are awkward because small bits are easier to melt. So these are where you have to start being rather careful. And obviously we've got the two lines across the top of the dome, and then we've got two little cuts into it at the back where the bottom of them sit. Tell you what, painting the inside valve gear on this once it's assembled is going to be fun. Could you leave that part loose, please? Well, your inside valve gear you fitted to the chassis. So that's there on the chassis. I never did that. So that'll be take the chassis off and paint it then. Got a Gem Scott kit arriving at mine next week. Might have a go at white metal soldering. All gem kits are lovely, he says. I have two gem B1s, neither of which I built. But you can see how they're built, and they're wonderful little kits. Actually, let's check they both fit first, shall we? Had good lighting today, but I wouldn't have shown up on screen if I'd anticipated looking so gormless. Okay, that'll be easily accessible then. It will indeed. Yeah, look, they both fit. So let's get some flux on. Lots of solder on the joint, or else the parts fall off again. Excellent. But in this case, we do not flood the solder on the joints. Very small amounts of solder. Very quick, light touches with the iron. There we go. looking forward to painting this one. It'll be fantastic when it's done. How are your layouts coming along? I believe they are all up to date on the channel. Oak Hill, the main layout, is due to be ripped up and replaced. And once I've got some track and laid the 009 so I can play trains on that, I may well rip Oak Hill up pretty much straight away afterwards, to be honest. And I've not even got the framework I need to build the new one yet. So I could be Oak Hill-less for a while. It's looking good. Any chance close up of the dome and safety valves? Indeed, Linny. Why are you destroying your layout? It's getting replaced. There we go. Got it to focus. Are the chimney and dome seated properly? Looks like a gap between them and the boiler. There is, it's about 0.5 mil round on the sides. The front and rear are seated properly. That will just be filled round with a bit of solder. You won't notice. I had to do the same when I built mine. And it is, once you've filled it and actually filed them to the right shape, you can't notice. So don't worry, that Linny, that will be done before it returns to you. But yes, James, Oak Hill is being replaced with a layout that actually works. Sure, that's good, thank you. Not a problem. Speaking of my 009 and track, I should have some money for you tomorrow, Linny, because it's payday tomorrow. Funnel, I've been told about the smoke box. Well, the smoke box is there, just the door on the front that isn't. I could tell that bit of glue was there because it wasn't fitting together properly. That's all better, so let's get it cleaned up. Like there's a lot of glue around the front of the smoke box there. Let's get that off. What way does Oak Hill not work? It's got a lot of buckled track from the years it's spent in storage. The baseboards themselves are reasonably rotten. So it's a limited life layout anyway. So I got it second hand. God, it's got to be 4 years ago now. I got it. And before I had it, it spent 12 years in a damp garage. And it has just reached a point where the track has had so many repairs that it's starting to fail in ways that can't be repaired. So unfortunately the layout is at the end of its relatively long life. I believe it's 27 years old now. But it shall be rebuilt. We have the technology. Where was it stored? I don't know. It was literally just a damp. It was a damp garage. It was built by a club down in the West Country originally as a Great Western branch line terminus. Sold to one of the members who just kept it in his garage. It boxed up. It never even got used the whole time he owned it. He passed it on to his son, who couldn't make use of it. So he advertised it as free to collector. So I brought it back to life. It will be a shame when it goes, but when I got it, I knew it was a limited life thing. It's about time to start a new Oak Hill. Indeed, there will be a new Oak Hill to replace it. If I use this just to get them level. Gosh, rebuilt this time. Hillier and oakier. Yes, why not? Have the technology, we can rebuild it. Exactly. How reliable will the new one be? The new one will be extremely reliable. It will work brilliantly all the time, and it will be code 75 bullhead track rather than the current code 100 set track. Because that is another problem that layout has, is train set points. So currently everything I want to run on it, I have to build to be able to go round train set points. And none of my other layouts have them. It's supposed to stay there. Oh. That sentence is relevant because of all the number 27s on the line. I do have a lot of number 27s, you're quite right. Proof of bullhead, I'll be using that on my 00 layout when I eventually get round to that. Excellent. Excellent indeed. The new oak hill will also be slightly thinner than the existing one, which, because the layout is in my living room, means I'll have more living room. Which is always a good thing. Oh dear, these have pointed slightly inwards. We're going to have to loosen them up a bit. Never mind. Interesting. How do you build Ceph kits to go around tighter curves? Most of them can be built like that anyway. Like the tank engines and stuff are quite alright with it. And of course the tender engines, you just put a bigger gap between the loco and the tender. Which you will notice the K does not have. That does not have a big gap between. That is the K turning as far as it can. And it works fine like that on the other layouts. But it'll never run on Oak Hill like that. That's better. And so's that. Will you be commissioning Linny to laser cut a replica station building? I still have my heart set on one. I will certainly be commissioning a lot of buildings off of Linny, yes. Fun of... Will the new layout have a similar or different track plan? If you head over to RM Web, to the pre-grouping section, and find the Oak Hill thread, there is, not long ago, a discussion which includes the design for a new track plan as helped by those members of RM Web's pre-grouping section. Right, now we just need to cut some extra flash out of these bits and we should be okay. But yeah, radius 1 curves and train set points are fun, aren't they, Alex? Linny's not currently producing anything, so they can't get to the laser cutter, but CAD work is happening. Remember that now. I suggested signal box kittens. You did, James, yes. And there will be signal box kittens for you. But yeah, there's no need for you to produce anything soon. Ah, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Mole, sir. I understand how hard that must have been for you to head over to RM Web and fetch that link. God, there's a lot of flash on this side. Yeah, that should go all the way back as well. My Google thing worked overtime. As much as I would like to stay, my bed calls me. Good night. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you for coming, Becca. It is very much appreciated. Sleep well, and I shall speak to you again soon. This mould must have been really worn when this one was done. I think we've got enough there. Let's check. That side's sitting down in it okay. That side needs a little bit more to come out still. Oh yes. Right, that side's in okay. This side is actually still a bit high. It's good having parts around that you can test fit with. This is why we test fit. Oh, and there's a link to the one-off donations provided by Mr. G at Bot. Right, SECR and WAG, SR WAG and Pants version for Caledonia works. I'll find a proper Sleecast stream now. Oh, excellent. I'll look forward to that, Alex. Right, that's now sitting in there properly. So we want to clean the parts. Is it Newcastle that do the North British C16? I believe so, yes. Get the back cleaned up whilst we're here. And check that all still fits together properly. Where's me? Yep. That is all still sitting happily. I forgot how big the gaps around these bits at the front were. Oh! A donation from Linny. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. As you know, it does help keep the stream running. Give that another polish, because you can see there the difference that has made on that bit I've just polished. Because even after just as long as it's been since I was cleaning there, it's all tarnishing again, because the white metal does just tarnish in the air. Rather awkward. Very welcome. Only thing fair is you're building my logo. Yeah, but I got something for this, didn't I? I can't remember what the deal was. But your donations are very much appreciated, especially now that my thing is working, and you can actually the alerts. That's it. The alert box is working, and we get Stepney's whistle when people do stuff like that. Huzzah for Steam funds, indeed, Alex. No passengers means no polish. Hang on, have you chopped off all the buffers? Sprung buffers. That was it for lining the i3. Quick refund the donation. Yeah, as long as you don't try to convince me to go for scale couplings, non-sprung buffers are so last century. But the sprung buffers were in the box, so we had obviously at some point agreed that it was getting sprung buffers. Because they wouldn't have got put in that box if we didn't. Tried running my LSWR code with scale couplings through my crossover. So much overhang that even with large buffers they still buffer locked. Oh, that's not good. The Bachmann bird cages are a bit like that. There we go, I think we've got that bit of glue now. Even when being pulled, wow. Evening, just dropping in, I'm afraid. Good evening, Stephen. Hello, hope you are well this evening. You find us working on Linny's D1. I thought about using hung couplings, so you're not going to be using those carriages in the end, or be replacing them with something older and shorter eventually. And I think, yeah, the Everone part does occasionally suffer from that, doesn't it? Indeed it does, yes. It's that radius 1 that goes into the fiddle yard, it's just murder. I honestly don't see why Peter put radius 1 there. Jumping on the aerodrome part can be fun sometimes. Yes, I imagine it can. Well, I don't have to imagine, do I? I've spent long enough doing it at the exhibition. I've seen people glue the middle chain stiff, apparently it prohibits buffer lock. I have seen people glue all the chains together and make them completely solid for that purpose. D1 is about to ask if it's some sort of Highland loco. No, it is a Stroudley D1. Never thought I could go back to tension locks, but here we are. No, Alex. Let's wrap that around so that my arms aren't all in it. Here we go. In case you're wondering, the solder was too far up the iron. Exactly. Tension locks for life. If you say so, Linny. Each to their own, eh? Just teasing, does it have a name and number yet? There we go, it does. Scaling couplings must be a challenge to use in double O. Nah, they're fine. Nothing wrong with them. Let's shift the tab she has open for Bingham's. Oh, is it the cages on her Pullmans? Always make the case for scale coupling. The other types sometimes allow it's just not scale coupling friendly. That's true, I suppose. Let's see here, what have we got? It's times like now I wish I had a bit of loose track. I have a selection of wagons with scale couplings on them. I have a coupling hook, a shunter's pole even. I drop it down. The camera's in the way. Blooming camera. I think I'd have planned for that when I was putting them down. And there we go, they're coupled. Even with the camera in the way. Pick the hook up, they're uncoupled. And they're coupled again. Nothing fiddly about it. Right, let's catch up with chat. Always make the case of scale couplings over other types, but some of that's not scale coupling friendly. Yeah, KDs on coaches are okay to use in coaches. It's not the scale, it's the type of track that makes a real difference. Scale couplings can't be used when one wants full computer automation. That's true, James. On bus pot and cut holes in the buffer beam so they're working as per prototype. Scale freelink couplings, it's not the gauge, it's the hand-to-eye coordination. That's true. They do look good. Oh, I see. That makes it look so easy, and it is most of the time. You need a fully automated shunter with pole. Yes, that'll do it, James. But yeah, I've just shown how easy it actually is. All you need is the right tools, which in this case is a bit of wire and a torch. That is all it is. And it is bent to the shape of an actual shunter's pole. Because why would I want it any other shape for doing proper couplings? Hydration is important. Splendid idea, do message me a link to where I can buy one. Touche. Touche. There it is. It was hiding from me. Didn't mean to drop that. Never mind what we do when that happens. Is we take a dropped bit of solder and we just pop it up there. That torch looks like a blind you flashed in your eye. I hope not, because it's a nurse's torch for checking pupil dilation. So yeah, I hope it wouldn't blind you, because it is literally designed to be shone in your eye. While the coupling itself can be fiddly and nagging sometimes, it's mainly the buffer lock I struggle with. Yeah, I can understand that fully, Alex. There is a fair amount of buffer lock at times. Didn't watch the Queen earlier, but I hear she said we should stick together. Good to hear her encouraging us to build kits. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, Stephen. It is good to hear her encouraging that. Discord, there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Well, go have a look at it now, Alex. It's a wonderful place. It's called Discord. What a wonderful place. If anyone wants to finish my cover of Hakuna Matata for Discord, please feel free. No, not knocking on to either Discord or Twitter until it's all over. But we're not mentioning it on Discord, so you're safe there, Alex. Gone this long can last longer. Yeah, fair enough. So I've been quiet on the breakdown for a while, working up curly handrails for veranda doors. Gary, may I link to just the image? You can indeed. It should allow you to post a link, because I believe it does let mods post links. I still don't have links banned, by the way. Anyone should be able to post them. It just doesn't. YouTube be YouTube. There we go, that's better. YouTube has a corrupt incentive to prohibit all links. Links take people away from watching YouTube. No, they don't. And those huge buffer heads still locked up. Don't knock it out whilst you're soldering it. Okay. Same issue with my SCR Caval van. I think it's more due to the long fixed wheelbase and rigid buffers than anything else. So fair enough, and yes, it could well be that. Alex, rigid versus strong makes no difference once they're past each other. Sideways, they can't compress if they're not touching. That's very true. See, Linny, now the front, because this is on, the front is now rigid and not bending anymore. Once we get a roof on here, the same will happen for the back. Obviously, I need to make you a roof first. So that is something I will get on with. You have returneth, have you, Luke? You mean you weren't here and you missed my demonstration of how easy scale free link couplings are? I now have a new appreciation for all the people who apply buffer beam numbers in N-gauge. Well, we should appreciate the insane. Shouldn't we, James? No, I've been watching in the background, and yes, I saw that. Oh, well, I'm glad you saw that. Because I know you constantly go on about it, because you forget about the fact I did a video of it for you once upon a time. In a mad world, only the mad are sane. That is very true. Insanity. Wouldn't know anything about that. No, Alex, quite. Madness is trying to couple the same free link over and over. Free links work fine. I've proved this now. Oh, there's glue on here as well. I forgot to check these bits for glue when I was putting it together earlier. To be fair, I don't actually struggle that much with them. So for anyone that hasn't seen Discord, just renumber my J15 to 7564. Free links may work fine. If the user is defective, it's a different story. No, I carry on blaming those radius 1 curves, Alex. The free links good, but I find they should realistically be kept for filming purposes, like mockumentary style video. I found KDs are good for ease of use, better than regular tension locks. I've never seen an advantage of KDs over tension locks for regular use, to be honest. But one of my original decisions to go with 3 links was actually filming purposes for a project that never happened. Right, I think I've got all the glue out. No, there's some on the edge, but that's the easy. It's the easy side now. I mean, for my struggles in coupling them, poor eyesight and shaky hands as ever. Okay, word heresy. Same, I'd always go for modern tension locks over KDs. So if it doesn't make sense, James North pitch wide, I did that one. My Stalaco is meant to have knuckles. Well, if something's meant to have knuckles, then KDs are the way to go, definitely. A bit of glue had got stuck down there. This is why we test fit. Yep, there we go. Absolutely no problem with 3 links, fixed rates, wagons or whole trains. I'm thinking dinghams on the outer end, such rates. Vehicles that are to be shunted. I'm trying to think what ones dinghams are. Are dinghams the bent wire ones? For me, it's all about uncoupling. Mainly, I hate the whole twist lift thing, regular tension locks, not too many wagon coaches off over the years that way. You know, both. Oh, there's a link to my Discord popped up from the chatbot. Either way, as far as coupling is concerned, honestly, no coupling is flawless in the end of the day. Make a tension lock uncoupler is super easy. You get a warm mini milk, eat the mini milk, dry the stick and use that from underneath. Really simple and tasty. Heard someone buffering mount caves on their Pullmans. Couldn't imagine who. I believe you'll find she already said that that's how she does her KDs, Luke. Keep up. Dinghams look like European couplings, but bigger and in the buffer beam. Fair enough. Shunting the 3 link wagons not too long ago, not a fun task. It's a great task, it's wonderful. In fact, Heritage Railway Productions, did you have a go on the 1930s layout with 3 links at Uckfield? Is that the one you tried shunting with them on? Don't think me with mini meals. Might have one in ages, partly through choice, partly through not having a gallbladder anymore. Yeah, that's a good reason to not have them. The reason why I didn't use dinghams is because they don't really go round curves. I'm sure they do. Sure they must do. I want to use dinghams on my locos. Go on then, use dinghams on your locos. Of course they do, Luke, otherwise they wouldn't be used. Exactly, that's what I was just thinking. Tank fronts next then. And then we'll put the details, the last details on top of the tanks. We've got half an hour to go here. We could actually get the body basically done. We don't have a roof to put on. Yeah, but not very tight ones. Well, don't have very tight curves then. Have better curves. Don't blame the couplings because your curves are wrong. No, it wasn't that one. It's another layout. I've forgotten which one. I think it was an Upfield Club layout though. I think I'm the only one at Club that uses 3 links. But yeah, that 1930s one from Uckfield show is the one that Alex the Mole now owns. But yeah, I'm sure I'm the only one at Club that uses 3 links. Well, in 4mm anyway. The 7mm guys use them. But they don't count. My thought process, using dingham loops on locomotives and then regular coupling hooks on the ends of coach sets and wagons so I can have remote uncoupling using KD magnets. Makes sense. What did the other way around, Alex? Then you can have full screw links on your locos. Oh, screw links, excellent. Ironically, I was actually looking into dinghams because of Spark Shot. I might still do for the Thomas fleet. Fair enough. On those straddly roofs, by the way, I find them particularly fun to make, at least in CAD. They're not a simple shape, are they? I have a couple of locos where I have scratch built them out of plasticard in the past. For this one, the plan is to resin cast the roof off my D1. Which has stayed not attached to the loco for that reason. But I've got no resin at the moment. There we go, one tank front. Actually, that would make more sense. I use coach sets en route, so you've got 3 sets with uncoupling at one station. Maybe not then, it's British Railways layout. No, we don't have any of them at Club yet. The only one I was the only one to use screw stroke 3 links in my club. Still am technically, but that's for the Thomas stuff mainly. Fair enough. The way I do them, I just scrape away the shape from a rectangle to make them profile and smooth the ends off. Admittedly, not an easy thing to learn in AutoCAD. Would it be worth contacting South Eastern Finecast for a spare roof? It depends on who currently owns South Eastern Finecast. Because I hear that it's already passed on to Squires. I also hear that it hasn't, so I don't know who you would contact about it. To be honest. There we go, fits fine. It's not coming out for cleaning because that was a rather tight fit. So hopefully it's clean enough and the flux will hold it. Profile not checked. Found out recently you can buy dual gauge HOE track and points. Now I have ideas floating around in my head that I shouldn't. You can indeed buy dual HOE track. And these sound like ideas you should have, Alex. Oh, talking of buying stuff, Alex, your Peckett kit that you've got, have you still got that or have you moved it on yet? Because I do believe there is someone here that would be interested in it. If you are still planning on moving it on. Also, I'm assuming, Linny, it's this one we want that you've already stuck the smoke box door on for. With the this shape profile rather than the this shape profile. That I can see it is looking at that now. I don't even know why I'm asking. That's by a company called Tillich. It is indeed. You still have the kit. Excellent. Remind me what model of Peckett it was. Or is. Bent wire, you may think of Alex Jackson. Dingham's a sort of refined version of coupling. You find an old O-gauge tin plate, D-shaped hook. Over the hooks and that's on a little more to them now. I believe I am thinking of AJ's, yes. It's what the P4 guys at Club use. Love do 3 screw links on my out. I use streamline points and set track curves. You might be alright on streamline points and set track curves. What radius set track curves are they? What did I hear you mention a C-class stream? You did, Luke. He mentioned a C-class stream. You'll have to actually turn up to Alex's stream occasionally. Depends on the length of the stock as well. It does indeed. One question at a time though. But yes, anyway, Alex, I was discussing your X-Class 060 for the Met version. That was it. There you go, Linny. That's what Peckett kit Alex has got. Third and fourth radius, third and fourth radius curves, the fourth radius and the fourth and the fourth is 3/4 curves, the fourth radius, fourth is third radius. Yeah, they should be fine then. Again, dependent on what stock you are using, you should be okay. So the question is, what stock are you using? I thought, what's the longest stock? Fortunately, special R4 for my Peckett project. Fair enough. There we go. It fits now. And we have 20 minutes to go still. Well past my bedtime night. Alright, good night, Stephen. Thank you for popping by. Has been great to have you here. I have some tip cleaner on there still. Darn. I appear to have warped it. That's better. Most of these kit I've made it online and I'll only use it if I do add LU to aero part. You should, Alex, you should. My coach mainly Hornby XLSWR coaches, couple of Mortals. Wagons are managed normal four-wheel van and open wagons. You should be fine then. All those on third and fourth radius curves should be absolutely fine. With free links and screw links. So you shouldn't be encouraging me having ideas. Yes, I should. Ideas are the best ideas. And it's true that, Alex, all the best ideas are ideas, so you should have lots of them. And there's another call for the like button as we approach the end of the stream. I mean, she still needs filling and stuff, but I think we've done quite well for a single evening's work here. I don't have any more room thanks to your last idea. And what a fantastic idea it was, eh? Excellent progress, 90 days felt like it was, but that's not the point. It is the point. And even more to the point, in your words, you wouldn't be having any more of these railway related ideas if it wasn't for that last idea of mine. So it was clearly the best of ideas. There it is. 2 tank fillers. So I'll just finish video now, just rendering it out. Excellent. Can you plonk the roof off your D1 at the end of stream so we can have a look at how it'll look? Still planned in the early packet conversion and stuff like that. Go and look at doing that one day. As long as my D1 is out, yes. And packet conversions are brilliant conversions and everyone should do them, is my answer to packet conversions. Oh, and a link to Discord from Javier. Right, I've done a rough thing showing how the roof goes on Discord. Well, hey. What is a packet conversion per chance? I think I'm a touch out of the loop. Converting a packet into a different type of packet. In this case, an older packet. Right, I think we'll stick these last two bits on for tonight. And then I shall see if my D1 is out on the layout. But yeah, I feel like I have to do something with my packet. And you know well why. See, it's already got dumb buffers. They need redoing. There we go. Wasn't your packet given to me? It was. Free locos make excellent conversion basis. They do, don't they? There we go, got it. Right. Is my D1 on the layout? Yes. Is it going to cooperate? Oh. Yes. Think about it, when I've got the money, I should finish my Stepney conversion. Really can't stand it in A1 form. Too used to A1X. Fair enough. If that's how you want your Stepney, is that one of the new models, new Terriers? I've repainted my packet into the blue. Just need the transfers over and coupling rods. So the nice thing about open cabin Hornby packet is that you can see the incredible detail they put in it. Plonk it on the chassis. It is fair enough. Look, well, I've got to say I prefer my Andrew Barclay Philistine. Yeah, Philistine, Luke. The packet is the much nicer loco. So yes, there we have a D1. There's a terrible shape, terribly formed air tank to hang down from the back. There's some steps and bits to go on still. But I don't think that's bad for a single evening's work. Yes, it's the new Hornby one. Ah, excellent. Are you using Bluebell Model Railway's conversion kit to do that with then, that he released? Because that looks like quite a handy kit for converting Stepney to an A1X. Seems that the NCB's Ainsbury Colliery also preferred Andrew Barclays. They have one, although they're looking at getting another 2. Do you need that many, Luke? Really? And of course, if you really want to know what it's going to look like when it's done, that air tank might get in the way of a tension lock. Well, I can leave it off. If you really want to know what it's going to look like, there we go. My dome's in a different place. Yours is in the right place because I've used the instructions to line yours up. Don't know why mine's in a different place. Your safety valves look nicer than mine as well. How strange. Where's the air tank? There's the air tank. I believe there's the line. So the air tank is supposed to sit there, and the tension lock, I believe, is supposed to fit around this nub sticking up there. Going to, but I can't really find anything about it. Started designing my own smoke box because I've no idea how to go about it. Fair enough. Never asked, do you need that many of a railway model? I mean, look at me, retconning Pullman history, so I can have more of those gorgeous beasts. Clearly, it's experimental D1 prototype. Clearly, yes. And there's a link to my Twitter account. Again, looking at a picture of Horsham in IEG. No air tank. Fair enough. But yes, so there is the future Horsham. I do believe we've done I think this speaks volumes for the kit and how good it is that we've, that's 3 hours work, and there you have a loco. It's not often that happens, is it? People don't believe me when I tell them that I can build locos in an evening, but I can, and do. But the air tank is even more oddly proportioned. They do look really odd without the air tank on the back, don't they? It does look like it's a huge overhang at the back. Well, it does have a huge overhang at the back, that's why. So, yes, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is 2 minutes to midnight, according to my clock. I think that's close enough to call it the end of the stream there. It has been absolutely wonderful having you all here with me for this build. I have had a great time. I hope you have had a great time. I hope you've learnt something, either about white metal soldering or about how great wheels and then Southeastern Finecast kits are, because they are fantastic. That's very nice. Good day. Thank you both. So, yes, the end is here. All that's left for me to say is, remember, there will be a video on Tuesday, a further video reviewing this live stream on Thursday, and then we will return here to the workbench live next Sunday night. Please do come and join me again. I love having you here. So, I have been Gary. This has been Let's Build. You have been amazing. Good night, everybody.